here on the programme and hear what you have to say. We now move on to our next story. And the British Broadcasting Corporation's chair says it is determined to fight any legal action from US President Donald Trump following an incident in which the broadcaster admitted to wrongly editing a video of one of his speeches. Trump has later indicated that he is likely to sue the BBC this week for as much as $5 billion. The issue stems from the BBC splicing together separate excerpts of a speech, creating the impression he was inciting the January the 6th, 2021 riot. The BBC's chair, Samir Shah, sent a personal letter to Trump apologising for the edit. However, the broadcaster maintains that there is no basis for a defamation claim. In an internal email to staff, Shah acknowledged ongoing speculation about potential legal action and the associated costs or settlements. He emphasised the BBC's commitment to protecting the public funding it receives from licence fee payers and reiterated that its position has not changed. Okay, this comes after the BBC, of course, edited a speech during January the 6th speech in front of the Capitol building, which then led to riots. Of course, the death of 2 people after Donald Trump lost the election to Joe Biden in 2021. Some claims that Donald Trump incited this riot. However, the BBC, in their investigative show, Panorama, they broadcast and spliced together, editing 2 pieces of footage that were as much as 50 minutes apart. And so Donald Trump has said that he is going to sue the BBC, funded, of course, by the UK taxpayer and adverts from around the world, for $5 billion. Of course, this comes as the BBC has seen enormous scrutiny over the years from numerous scandals, including many related to the Israel-Gaza conflict and others due to internal matters, due to its personality, both on screen and off it. So, of course, the BBC has not shone its glory upon itself when it comes to scandals as of recently. But the BBC's chair has said that it's going to fight Donald Trump's defamation case and says that these allegations of defamation are baseless. Of course, we will bring you everything as it comes through here on NewsX World. But Donald Trump has indicated that he's likely to sue the BBC this week for as much as $1 to $5 billion for splicing those excerpts together on that day in 2021, where he was speaking to a riled up crowd of supporters in front of the Capitol building on January the 6th after he lost that election to Joe Biden. Alison Mutler joins us now. She's a former Associated Press bureau chief. She joins us live from Bucharest in Romania. Alison, thank you very much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. How much of a serious case of this is this for the BBC? Up to $5 billion worth of a defamation act. What kind of money does the BBC have in order to defend it, etc.?
Well, first of all, this is a political statement by Donald Trump, because we're talking about an enormous sum of money, and the idea is to intimidate the BBC and show them a lesson. But not only the BBC, it's a message to all broadcasters and big press organisations that do not. I'm not going to say don't toe the line, because they did make a big mistake, the BBC here, but it's a way to punish the media that he is hostile to, and in this case, he did catch them out, but he's showing no dignity or elegance with this. He's trying to do political point scoring here. So he's not doing one of those trials where I want a symbolic, $100 or something. He wants it to be punitive, and he wants headlines around the world. And the BBC will have to take this very seriously. But my question will be, where is this case going to be tried? I imagine in the United States, but I'm not sure. It might be in Britain as well. And defamation, how do you prove that, particularly what is in the BBC's favour is the fact that they did issue an unreserved and full apology. But the aim is to score political points and also intimidate the BBC and anyone else, any other major broadcaster that would think would make a mistake of this size. So obviously the BBC has to take this seriously, but they'd have to think, where will this case be fought? They themselves know, of course, it is political, and whether a court would rule in Donald Trump's favour is quite hard to say. I would say no court would, particularly in the United States, which has very liberal laws for the media, for libel, defamation. The UK is more difficult, particularly for libel, but this isn't a libel case, this is a defamation case. So I have to see, at the moment he's just talking huge figures, where this goes and where a case will be filed, and if there's a trial, where it will be. But it's political, number one.
Yeah, of course, and as you've said, the BBC has admitted that it edited this speech correctly. It ordered a full apology. It gave the president a full apology, and insists that it didn't defame the president. In legal terms, does an admitted editing error here automatically equal defamation?
I think it will be much harder for a court to rule that there was defamation when the organisation, in this case the BBC, has issued a full apology. That will definitely count in their favour. But, you know, as I said, Donald Trump wants to score political points out of this, and he, as we know, he is on the warpath and has been for very many years, ever since his first term in office, with the media, what he would call the liberal media, fake news. He invented that term, etc., etc. Yeah. Any media whose narrative he doesn't agree with.
Yes, Alison, do stay with us as we have further updates coming out of the United States coming up next.